don't know why it does that. Hi, everybody. This is Allison from Alleycat Creations. How are you? Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And if you get anything from my work, a connected dot, an epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, please consider supporting my work. All the links are at the bottom of the description of this video. And if you're interested in pyramids, it's doing it again. Holiday time is coming. You want good vibes in the house? Floral decor. Different types of pyramids. I do a lot of different types. Please consider supporting my work. I got oil paintings and drawings and all kinds of fun stuff. Check out my website, alisonkatz.com. That will help me feed myself and keep myself alive. How's that one for you? And if anybody that has an autistic child or knows somebody that has a child who's outgrown their fidgets, I have a classroom full of kids. I got bunked in the eye the other day really bad, like hit in the eyeball. It was really painful. Thankfully, everything's okay. But thankfully, I had fidgets for photo shoots today. We had photo day today at the job, and yeah, that was fun trying to wrangle kids into a very high stimulated, echoey, flashing lights kind of deal. So fun times. So yeah, just if you have anything to donate or recycle or you don't use it anymore, if you can email me, which is in the description below, and let me know if there's anything you can donate to my classroom, that would be amazing. Even though I'm not the teacher, I'm the para. Makes my life easier and less me getting hurt. Also, I had a huge, like a scratch and a bruise right there. Like a security guard. It's fun times. That'd be really appreciated. The Hermit's Journey. I'm going to read the ending of Thus Spoke Zarathustra. But the energies in the last few weeks have been purge. We're still purging as society, as humanity. We are coming into a new beginnings, the eclipse. We're in eclipse season again. And a lot of energies are starting to push further out into the void of outer space. And this is the opportunity to become the Neo. To go back in. Our solitude has kept us out of the matrix. We have done our reflection and our analysis and our healing and the journey of the dark night of the soul, and those are forever going to continue to happen. But we had a lot of us had hit major shadow points. A lot of us are still in them, still purging and still healing, but at some point we need to get back in. This is very hard work. I know, I'm feeling it. I'm in it. I jumped back into the matrix. I had no choice. It was either, and I still need a second job. I still need to figure that out. I'm not seeing anything that I could do, because by the end of my 8-hour day, which I'm only getting paid for 7 and not even getting a lunch, I'm making McDonald's wages. Yeah. So, and I'm not a salaried worker. So I need to figure it out fast because when the holidays come, I don't get paid for holidays. Oh yeah, teachers get that. No, not me. Not me. So I got to figure this out and very soon. Um, and I'm trying to do something remote or something simplistic so that I am not having to give this channel up or give making my creations up. But if I have to, I have to because it wasn't meant for me. Or it's just, I don't know. I'm over it. Trying to get clarity, not getting anywhere. But a lot of us are being called to go back in, and that is to seed our light to the normies. And I don't like to label them because I'm not trying to label people anymore. Everybody's where they're at, where they're supposed to be, whether they're aware or not. We have to be in the fold to spread the frequency. Sorry, but not sorry. If you're not going amongst the crowds, I'm not saying go to a concert, that's draining as it is, but well, no matter what facet you are in your life, make sure you're getting out a little bit more. Make sure you're conversing with people. There are more awake people than you think. And I know when I'm at work and I'm talking to people and they're starting to get like a little hint, so you start dropping little seeds, and then they open up and it's like a volcano of amazement. So put yourself out there. Be your authentic self, number one, and make sure you are expressing yourself in a respectable, not throwing up spew truth, but you're dropping little hints and seeds to people that might actually start opening up, and they need it. They need somebody to communicate to connect with. I am like that for a lot of people. A lot of people are like, this is too much for my brain. I can't process all of this. And I try to do as much as I can to help other people sift through their dreams and their spiritual like happenings. You know, like, oh, I think I experienced something. I don't know how to put my finger on it to explain it. And well, just tell me. I'm non-judgmental. I'm not going to sit here to judge you. I'm here to help. And if a lot of us would take that approach of not being judgmental towards other people and how they perceive reality and their world, and when you start opening up, they're going to probably start opening up too. It might take a few times, but just you wait. Then you're going to get people that latch onto you, which is okay, but you have to set your boundaries. Be recognized, be cognizant. I was trying to get that word out before, that you're singing your song and you're not wanting to be the Pied Piper, but you want people to think for themselves. You want them to explore things openly on their own timeline. It's a waste of breath and energy to force something that is not ready to be given. Hang on. Yeah. Zoom was being fun with the pause and then it ended. Don't know why. I'm back. Back to my point as Odin was being distracting. It's time to be the mature adult that many of us are. Doesn't matter how old you are. You have to approach going back in. with maturity and understanding that not all is going to understand you. Not all is going to be responsive. But it's up to you to bring the light into the reality that you are in, that you're creating in your holographic simulated world. You have to smile. You have to bring the light and be the example, the model. In what I do, I model behavior for students. I model expectations for students. Kids are a sponge. And they don't know, they're just going on based off of what they're seeing. And this is society at large, at what's going on in society. They're seeing what's going on and they're dictating, they're allowing their outer world to dictate, but now you have to take control and empower yourself to take control of your own simulation, your own reality. And if you're not going to walk around and no, life is difficult. We signed up for this difficulty. We signed up for the limitation and the separation. But at some point, to overcome this point in reality, you have to be the example because you were chosen to do so. Congratulations. You're the matured soul. You're the most experienced and learned, as best as it could be in your circumstances, to walk and be the model and example for others to follow. To sit back and idly sit by and watch the show and the movie play out is being irresponsible at this point in time. Before it was fine because we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know the reality that we were jumping into because we formulate our own reality, but that's amongst humanities. When you can actually stand up and see things playing out for how they are, you could dictate a change. And in order to be the change, you have to be the role model to be the change. You have to be it in all essence. You have to walk it, talk it, and emote it. And not every day you're going to walk out and be happy. I love what I do, but I'm not happy that I have to now stress about finding another situation to just feed myself. I thought my channel, I keep trying to manifest my channel blowing up and at least getting some sort of monetization so that I can feed myself. That it is a supplemental. It's not going to be the main way I make my living, but something. And I'm still not there yet. I'm still trying to manifest it. You know, my creations and all my art, I've always struggled. I've been a starving artist. I've always struggled to try to sell my artwork my whole career. Some people, they just slap paint on a canvas and they get commissions for $30,000, $40,000. It's freaking fantastic, and I'm happy for them. For me, I have to claw rip my way through the fold. And a lot of us feel that way. You don't want to have to go back to school. To be in the system. I don't want to be in the system. But at this point, I'm having like no choice kind of deal. But I go in each day with my best foot forward and my best frequency forward. And I try to be the example and the model, regardless of the amount of abundance I'm receiving, the lack thereof in my life. I'm going there, I'm going out into the world with a light that is helping other people. And for me, I don't need any money in exchange for such things. I do that naturally. But I want to invoke that in all of you, that it's about time. We have to be the game changers. We are the ones that were put here for a purpose. We are here to hold the frequency, not just for Earth, but for humanity and all things in it. on it, falling within. You need to make sure your frequency is raised. You need to make sure that when you're doing that, you are not holding back. Remember, you are the right shower. You are the model. And each of us are the teachers to model that behavior and to model the expectation. Not everybody is going to follow that model, but someone else might have their own model and they will follow them. Don't take it personal. I don't take it personal. I just know that the truths that I have already obtained are ones that a lot of people are having a very hard time coming to light with. That to see that there is no separation for real, that your other selves are the very people that you hate, that you need to forgive and to understand the God's design and how it actually plays out into this reality, not taking things so serious that you are obsessively compulsory on the bandwagon that's going to lead you to the wrong station. There is really no wrong station, but it can lead you to a slower path. While everybody's accelerating, you're in the slow lane. And some people don't belong there. We all get sidestepped. And those have reasons. And sometimes your soul kind of slows you down because you're going way too fast. You've got to realize that this is our time to take back this reality and make it positive, to turn it into a positive polarity, to alchemize and clean up the shit. And the shit was caused by people, granted, great. And they're going to experience their own personal hell. They're going to ascend to a different realm. That is not your concern. Your concern is you. When you worry about yourself, and we tell the kids all the time, worry about yourself. Everybody's different in this classroom. Everybody's needs are different. Worry about yourself. I'm going to say the same thing to all of you. Worry about yourself. Stop worrying about who is what actor playing what role. Why the fuck does that matter? Because you want to see John Denver back? I would love to see Robin Williams back, but it may not be reality. We got to remember there are an unlimited amount of multiverses and experiences that you dwell in that they're alive. Which one are you jumping to? Which one are you perceiving? You jump in a million times a minute, different dimensional spaces and densities. Are you aware of that? Your habitation doesn't change. Your state of mind does, and what you see does. That's time traveling. It's not going into, yeah, there's machines for that too, but that's because the vibration of that person isn't high enough to shift. And yeah, that might be the machine might help you with the intention to shift to an actual location and destination, but that doesn't mean you're not already there in another self. You're merging with your other selves. Your paradigm is going to continuously shift until all of you, all the aspects of you playing in the multiverse in this form merge. And until then, it's time to go back and claim what is ours. everybody said God won. What aspect of God won? The light or the dark? Or God itself, the infinite all, the all that is? There is no all that is in higher dimensional spaces, as it's one thing with many different components playing out. So just realize what you're meaning by your words, because once again, the definitions of your words need to mature, and they need to be defined in a higher aspect, not in the lower one, not where love means a million things to a million different people, where we all subjectively come together and go, okay, objectively, here we are. What is this word definition? Where does it align in your heart space? What is your heart saying? What does this mean to you? But the light of your consciousness is going to shine to give you a better definition for things, for words, that you're not going to spellcast much longer for the dark. You got to go back in. You got to come out of that hermit zone. And you need to shed your light, your frequency into the world. Are you doing it? Have you started? And if not, give yourself some grace and some time and start emerging out of your cave. Because you are the mirror for those who need to see it. We're here. Are you ready? I hope so. The sign. In the morning after this night, Zarathustra jumped up from his resting place, gritted his loins, and came out of his cave glowing and strong as a morning sun that comes out of the dark mountains. You great star, he said, as he said once before, your deep eyes of happiness. What would your happiness be had you not those for whom you shine? And if they stay in their chambers, even after you had awakened and come and given and distributed, how angry would your proud shame be? Well then, they still sleep, these higher men. Well, I am awake. These are not my proper companions. It is not for them that I wait here in my mountains. I want to go to my work, to my day, but they do not understand the signs of my morning. My stride is for them. No summons to awaken. They still sleep in my cave. Their dream still drinks of my drunken songs. The ear that listens for me, the heedful ear is lacking in their limbs. Thus had Zarathustra spoken to his heart when the sun rose. Then he looked questioning into the height, for he heard the sharp cry of his eagle above him. Well then, he cried back, thus it pleases and suits me. My animals are awake, for I am awake. My eagle is awake and honors the sun as I do. With eagle's talons, he grasps for the new light. You are the right animals for me. I love you, but I still lack the right men. Thus spoke Zarathustra, but then it happened that he suddenly heard himself surrounded as by innumerable swarming and fluttering birds, but the whirling of so many wings and the thronging about his head were so great that he closed his eyes. And verily, like a cloud, it came over him, like a cloud of arrows that empties itself over a new enemy. But behold, here was a cloud of love and over a new friend. What is happening to me, thought Zarathustra in his surprised heart. And slowly he sat down on the big stone that lay near the exit of his cave. But as he reached out with his hands around and over under himself, warding off the affection, birds, behold, something stranger yet happened to him. For unwittingly, he reached into a thick, warm mane, and at the same time, he heard a roar in front of him, a soft, long lion roar. The sign is at hand. And Zarathustra, and a change came over his heart. And indeed, as it became light before him, a mighty yellow animal lay at his feet and pressed its head against his knees, and out of love did not want to let go of him, and acted like a dog that finds its old master again. But the doves were no less eager in their love than the lion. And whenever a dove slipped over the lion's nose, the lion shook its head and was amazed and laughed. About all this, Zarathustra spoke but a single sentence: "My children are nearer, my children." Then he became entirely silent, but his heart was loosened, and tears dropped from his eyes and fell on his hands. And he no longer heeded anything and sat there motionless, without warding off the animals anymore. Then the doves flew about and sat on his shoulders and caressed his white hair, and did not weary of tenderness and jubilation. But the strong lion kept licking up the tears that fell on Zarathustra's hand, and roared and growled bashfully. Thus acted these animals. All this lasted a long time, or a short time, for properly speaking, there is no time on earth for such things. But meanwhile, the higher man in Zarathustra's cave had awakened and arranged themselves in a procession to meet Zarathustra and bid him good morning, for they had found, when they awakened, that he was no longer among them. But when they reached the door of the cave and the sound of their steps ran ahead of them, the lion started violently, turned away from Zarathustra suddenly, and jumped toward the cave, roaring and savagely. But when the higher man heard it roar, they all cried out as with a single mouth, and they fled back and disappeared in a flash. Zarathustra himself, however, dazed and strange, rose from his scat, looked around, stood there amazed, questioned his heart, reflected, and was alone. What did I hear? He finally said slowly. What happened to me just now? And presently memory came to him, and with a single glance he grasped everything that had happened between yesterday and today. Here's the stone, he said, stroking his beard, where I sat yesterday morning. And here the soothsayer came to me, and here I first heard the cry which I heard just now, the great cry of distress. Oh, you higher men, it was your distress that this old soothsayer prophesied to me yesterday morning. To your distress he wanted to seduce and tempt me. Oh, Zarathustra, he said to me, I come to seduce you to your final sin. To my final sin, shouted Zarathustra, and he laughed angrily at his own words. What was it that was saved up for me as my final sin? And once more Zarathustra became absorbed in himself, and he sat down again on the big stone and reflected. Suddenly he jumped up. Pity, pity for the higher man, he cried out, and his face changed to bronze. Well then, that has had its time, my suffering and my pity for suffering. What does it matter? Am I concerned with happiness? I'm concerned with my work. Well then, the lion came, my children are near, Zarathustra has ripened. My hour has come, this is my morning, my day is breaking. Rise now, rise thou great noon. Thus spoke Zarathustra, and he left his cave glowing and strong as a morning sun that comes out of dark mountains. And that is the end. So genius. Zarathustra. This book changed my life. And I read it when I was in my 20s, in a very depressed, suicidal, not okay state. And it reflected to me so much back then, but so much more now as matured and out of that state of mind. It's led me to believe that all those characters are him, and he's confronting the different aspects of himself. Now, that perception can be wrong or right. It's up to you to decide how you perceive. that book and how you want to go about it. But the ending here is really giving us what I've been talking about, is getting out of that cave. The moments where all the animals are coming to him and like reaching the highest joy, feeling the love, getting to that vibratory state is essential. And you got to find that in your everyday life. And then emote it to other people and share it. I came to a point where I needed to get back out into the world, into what I know how to do best, what I love, what I get my passion from, even though it's a frustrating job and it's sometimes painful. I get hit and hurt and scratched and kicked and punched. But at the same time, I love my job. I get a good vibratory state from that place because I know what I'm doing. I'm helping children who cannot help themselves at the moment. What are you doing to go out and to shine your light? It's time. You confronted your other selves. Many of you have, and some of you are still in the middle of doing that work, and that's great. Keep up the good work. Take this then as something to impart for your later movement out of that cave of yours, out of that hermitism. The hermit's journey isn't going to end, and I'm not ending the series right now. I might have a little pause, but we're at this moment in time that all of us are needed to go back out into the wilderness, out of the cave, and to shed that light with a renewed vigor of wanting to have change. And the only way you're going to have change in a third dimensional reality is to create it, do it, walk it, have a cause and effect to put forward. And that's not to say that you got to do it a political way in a fucked up system. Sorry for my cursing, but I'm like over it. If Congress and your congressmen and all these people that get paid out and bought are really going to think, you can really think they're listening to your shit? No, they're not. Their aides, they don't even know any better. You want to be a game changer? You got to change the minds of those that are in surrounding you. I know when people talk politics at my job and everybody's very respectful about it. It's not, judging. I don't express anything besides I'm in neutral. I'm not for any side. But I give them sound arguments to why I'm one way or another. I have proof. I have the walking experience and wisdom of, hey, I lost it all in New York. Why? You asked me why I moved here, because here made sense financially. If you want to know why you guys have choice over a city that didn't have any choices, well, think about it. There are people who get screwed by a system that are well-meaning, lovely people that are not there to take advantage. I challenge a lot of people and their perceptions. I make people think. They don't have to agree with me, but I make people think. And that's walking through my own story. Walk through yours. You don't have to give all the shreds of pieces of evidence. You don't have to walk around with documents. Walking with your authentic, truthful story and telling people how certain things in life affected you and how the system is rigged against you, but in a respectful manner by telling your story. If the topics come up, and I know for some people it has in mind, I challenge people. I make people uncomfortable, and it's always been my job. I'm happy to do it. I do it all the time. Because when people realize what I'm saying is right, they don't want to, I don't need credit. I don't need to be like, I told you so. I don't care. I want you to realize I'm not here to steer anybody in any one direction. I'm here to steer you to your heart and allow your heart to sing your song, not mine. My heart sings my own song. But in a collective sense, we all have truths. We all have a similar story we wrote. We all wrote this together. So the story is going to meet up at some point to being the same to an extent. What are you trying to share and impart on other people? How, in what manner are you trying to do it? You can't only hang out with people on one side or the other, whether it be dark or light. You're going to be thrown into society that is all mixed with all different types of people. And you have to learn how to maneuver around that. Being in a place of comfort doesn't really work for a light worker or for a way shower. You have to go in the thick of the shit. That's your job. And not everybody's ready to handle that just yet, and that's okay. But for those of us who are very ambitious, and I'm tired of waiting for the changes that I want and I'm trying to manifest that are not coming, it's because the timeline hasn't shifted to the collective yet. We got to shift together. Timelines, not ascension. We're shifting quantumly. Our ascension is written by us. A lot of us are going to shift a little later than others because we're still here to help. Don't take it as a punishment. Take it as a reward. Take it as a gift. It's a gift that you're awake. It's a gift that you're aware. It's a gift that you're self-conscious and that you're aware of your other selves, your other higher dimensional selves, and that there's multiple infinite versions of you running around this matrix. Watch the Matrix movie again and again and again, and you're going to pick up different facets of what I am saying. And that's just a movie to reflect what reality is to a little finitude of a fraction of experience. We're meant to be happy. We are meant in this design to fight for it. Are you willing to fight for your happiness? Just everything's a state of mind. There's my lazy eye. Whoop. It's a state of mind. Everything's a state of mind. So if you change your mindset, you change your thinking, you change the way and direction, yeah, things do change, but reality still is reality. That's where the logical part of you needs to come into a reality check, because not everything is love and light. Not everything is daisies and unicorn farts and sparkles. It's just not. That's you're being challenged all the time. You're being tested, and without those tests, you won't have soul growth. So as much as we want to be in the happy, it's a choice to be happy, and it's a happenstance to see a lesson when it is actually occurring in front of you. And when you pick it up, that you're repeating a cycle, oh, that might be karmic, I have to clear it, or something triggered me to be upset. Why? Like, I know I'm ending a cycle that I've always had my whole life, but I'm emerging out of that. But in the meantime, there's this in-between period of the fucking crap. And a lot of us are always put into this middle zone of the fucking crap. Now we got to emerge out of that crap. Look for the future. but not too far in the future. Everybody's focused on all this fanciful shit that still hasn't come. I have my clock here, my little watch here. I'm still waiting. Each week, everybody's like, dad clock, dad clock, dad clock. If I would have waited, I would have been homeless, never had this channel, never got to move, never had any of the situations that I'm in now happen. I would have been homeless or dead. Because I was in hopium that stuff back then was going to happen then. Because everybody said it was going to happen. Oh my God, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's a fucking test. And when you could see it for what it is and start creating your own abundance and stop sitting back and wishfully thinking and actually manifest it, it will come. I know I've been manifesting things in divine timing. It will come. I'm patient, but at some points, like, it's getting scary. Like, that's the reality and logical part of my brain saying, okay, like, I'm really working hard. I've always worked hard. Even in the 2 years that I wasn't working, like, I was going through a whole transformation. And many of us were too. I'm not alone in this. But now it is time to step out of that cave and to impart your wisdom in a mature, respectable manner to the people that are in the opposition to you. This is your job. You're the model. People want to be like you. People want to have your energy. People want to be like you. Stand in your empowerment, number one, that you are worthy of this, that you're up to this, and that you were always training up to this point in the lives, all the lives. You're training for this moment now. You, all of you beautiful souls, have been training lifetimes in your sleep. You're not in your body. You're up there. You're learning. And then you come back and you wake up and you go out and here you are, being the beautiful souls, impacting people every day. And you're not even aware of it. And some of you are. But for those of you who are not in that awareness, believe it. We are the way changers. We are the way showers. We are making a difference. We all need to get out of this hermit, get back into the cave, look around and go, I gotta go. I have higher and greater horizons to see. Being stuffed up in my aloneness isn't going to help. It's okay to go back every once in a while for a little retreat, to say hi to all the bears and the cute little animals, and to go introspect. Us empaths all have to do that. We have to go and be in our own space and clear out the energy. But you have to make sure you're getting out there and spreading your light as much as possible right now. Very important. And even if you don't see the changes in other people, you're making them think. You're being the role model. Just like you want to be a role model to children, even if I don't have children, but the kids I'm working with, they look up to me. I want you guys to be the same. You are the role model for humanity. How you're going to lead your life and how you're going to model that in your everyday life matters. So make sure you got that work done within yourself. And yeah, you're gonna have your moments. You're gonna fall. You're gonna stumble. We all do. All of us do. It's human. We, at the end of the day, are human. Welcome to the shit show. We chose this. Know what you are in totality and know what you're representing. Do you think Yeshua walked around this earth and had every day was the best day ever? No. let's be realistic. He probably woke up grumpy a couple of times. He probably woke up and cursing the weather outside because it's way too damn hot in that damn desert. Humanness. You can't forget that you are human. You're a high into being in a contained vehicle. It's okay. You're not supposed to walk around perfect either. You are the perfect version of what you are. Own it and accept it. Accept your faults. Accept your flaws. We all have them. And that's okay. That's a part of the human experience that God wanted to have through us. The all that is. Realize it's our time. And I hope that many of you are starting to go out, and it doesn't mean that you need to have a job or get a job, but make sure that you're going out. Make sure you're going to the park. Make sure you're doing something every day and getting yourself, even if it's just in front of your house. I know some people are confined. Make sure you're getting yourself out on social media. It doesn't need to be out in, yes, it helps if you're out in physicality. But if you can't, for whatever the reason is, I know there's many people that are bound or can't get out because of their age or their limitations. That's okay. Make sure you're showing up for yourself and make sure you're showing up for the immediate people that are in your life. Because that chain and that link of entanglement will spread your light. Period. But for those of you who are able to get out there, get out there. Even if that's going to your local library and just sitting in the library reading a book, or a coffee shop, or a restaurant. I can't tell you how many times I've flew through a book at like Panera Bread or in a coffee shop. And people think it's weird that I'm sitting by myself and I'm reading. I enjoy that, and I'm eating and reading and just doing me. There's nothing wrong with that. We got to take the social norms of the third density and switch it to the fifth density. Stop worrying on what everybody else is thinking about you. Who fucking cares? I sure don't. I live my life accordingly to me and my rules. No one else's. So why should that determine you going out and having experiences? And I know there's a lot of people like me that are financially like fucked. So go do free things. Go make yourself some lunch and get to the park or take a walk in your neighborhood. You're still spreading the light. So spread the light, guys. It means a lot. We're not done with this series yet. We're done with this book, but we're not done. But right now, get out of your hermit zone, move forward, and do the best that you can, because your light is very much needed right now. And the changes that we need to put into place need to start happening on a bigger scale. So let's start doing it, because different channelers are coming together and saying, like, yeah, everything is starting to come into a merge point where everybody's message is pretty much similar, or not just about the same. That a shift is happening, consciousness is rising, and rising to a higher level. A lot of people are synchronizing in their thinking process. A lot of people are speaking out and coming together. And it's just about finding those people within your physical community to do that with. And if you're in one of those isolated parts of the world, that's okay. Find it online. Just know that the shift is coming, and we're the ones that are causing it. The more we're out there, the more we influence, the more our energy field hits, the more the light hits, the more the spreading of the entanglement. the quicker this happens. And then from there is a whole nother can of worms I'll open up on another day. And that's just the cleanup of Earth. Can't leave it untidied as Mother Earth is healing. So guys, sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within. Be the shoulders physically. Be that big lighthouse, shining your light on all things in the darkness. Seed your truths. That's where you need to start, seeding your little truths and being witty about it. And I hope you guys have a fantastic and beautiful day. Love, light, protection, grace, shielding, and protective energy to all who can use it, need it, want it, and embrace it. Remember, I can't do this if I don't have the support. I want to continue doing this. This is one of my biggest passions. Business card holders, gems, hearts, paintings, drawings, and then it's not unreasonably priced. I'm not charging $3,000 for anything. Most of my stuff is 200 and under. So holidays are coming up. If you're thinking about something different for somebody, a unique gift, hit me up. My email's in the description. I'll be more than happy to help you as you're helping me. But thank you, everybody. My gratitude to all the people that have been helping me, and I am very thankful for all of you. It means the world. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful and blessed day. Bye for now.